Today on Arts 24.
Ghost attacks are on the rise.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
And we are the only ones
Hold on to your ass!
equipped to fight back.
40 years on from the first episode, the original Ghostbusters team reunites in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, blending the original cast with fresh talent.
Ghostbusters. Can I tell you something else? What? Buster makes me feel good. It makes me feel good.
Fan favourites Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhard and Mckenna Grace join veterans Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts and Dan Aykroyd. It's directed by Oscar-nominated Gil Kenan.
Gil and Paul, hello, congratulations.
Thank you. Hello.
Now, it's 40 years since the first Ghostbusters. What makes it such a precious part of our film history, do you think?
I'll speak personally that Ghostbusters was an extraordinary moment for me as a young movie lover. Seeing it changed the way that I saw film. I had never seen a combination of comedy and horror in that way. I felt totally transported in the movie theater, and I came out wanting more of that feeling. I think this was also part of why it became part of the sort of culture so quickly. So it stayed with us, and I feel like now it's just part of the language of movie making.
I don't know, it's such an iconic franchise. Whenever it came out, it was really the first of its kind, with the comedy and the ghosts.
You said it changed your life being in it.
It really did. I mean, being a part of this franchise, it's such a massive thing. It truly changed my life. It's so funny. I probably text Jason Reitman or Gil like every other week, and I'm like, hey guys, I was just thinking about Ghostbusters today, and I want you to know that you've truly changed my life, and I will forever like be grateful to y'all. Like, it's so funny. I don't know. Truly, I'm now forever get to be a part of this Ghostbusters family, and I'm so honored. It doesn't feel real.
You have a miner hanging out the side of a moving vehicle, firing a laser gun indiscriminately.
Has a proton pack.
It's completely safe.
I wouldn't say completely safe.
The Ghostbusters are finished.
Right, well, overruled.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Of course, in Stranger Things, you dressed up as a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
How does it feel to now be part of its history?
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's so surreal. I mean, I remember for Stranger Things Season 2, we dressed up, and then the character Dustin, he like has these Reeboks that he like like if you look closely, he like drew on these Reeboks and like drew ghosts, on it with like a ballpoint pen, and then like Reebok, like Ivan Reitman let us do this Reebok shoe that was like a Ghostbusters Stranger Things shoe, and they were really supportive about the show. And then, yeah, to be in these movies now is so crazy.
Well, it's surreal. Strange to be a part of it all because I've grown up with it, like we both have, and it's an honor. But it's tough to put into words the feeling of actually driving the Ecto-1 or standing in a flight suit with the proton pack on my back, looking over and seeing Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson and Annie. It's like stepping into a movie you've been watching your whole life, because that's what I'm doing. And it's very exciting, and it was a lot of fun.
I've been waiting 40 years for this. They called themselves Ghostbusters.
In Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the Spengler family returns to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with the original Ghostbusters to bust the new ghosts on the scene.
We're gonna need all the help we can get.
Let's get to work.
Can I be of any help? Melnitz in uniform. Yes.
It's like putting on the uniform and going back to training to be able to, to bridge the generations. It's really, really fulfilling.
And the kids are just great.
They got that, but they're not as much fun as we are. You know that. Come on. We're having more fun, so we're here not just as performers, but as educators, really. That's what we do.
Heads up. Tall, dark, and horny at 12 o'clock.
And what sort of interaction did you have with the original cast on and off screen this time?
I mean, we had tons of interaction. We were with each other mostly every day. So
It was very cool to have them on set for such a long time this go around, because you know, I mean, basically every day we were together.
Yeah.
And do they give you ghost-busting tips?
Sometimes Dan Aykroyd would talk about, if like, you know, sometimes you sort of mess up the specific way of the proton pack, and so sometimes he'd give like a little tip on.
Not me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me. I'm talking about me specifically.
Me personally, I was so perfect at ghost busting that they never had anything to say.
Me personally, I don't ever get notes.
Me personally,
I don't touch that.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, not much. Not many tips. They were really
Just watching them was learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn by just watching them. So, yeah.
And in the past few years, you've been working with some comedy greats, some geniuses, not just Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, but in Only Murders in the Building, Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah.
What's that been like the past few years?
Well, it's been the highlight of my career thus far, honestly. And it's working with Steve Martin and Martin Short. I mean, that's Mount Rushmore of comedy. And Steve Martin probably, for me, more than any other person, had more of a profound effect on me in my life. When I was a kid, I would listen to those comedy albums, and I think it was the first time I thought, he's making a living talking. And making people laugh. My God, what an incredible job that is. What I really treasure is the opportunity to get to spend time with heroes, I mean, true heroes of mine. Not to mention Meryl Streep, she came on board too. And she's no slouch.
Storms coming. Don't take us that for noble in the rocks.
She's a stinkeroonie. I say give her the bouquet.
And you both seem to be pulled towards these sort of supernatural, scary roles. Why do you think that is?
It's fun, yeah, they're fun movies. I mean, for me, a lot of it was like coincidence and the movies that came along at the right time and reading these great scripts that I've really liked. So I'm glad I got to, to get to be a part of these films and these shows, and yeah, very lucky. But yeah.
Do you have a favorite ghost in the film?
Pukey.
Yeah, I like Pukey. I just love the design of him, the like roll, how he rolls, and the sound of it, like it's just so great.
The roll grosses me. I mean, the sound grosses me out, but the roll is so
sloshing.
funny. Yeah, he reminds me of like a little lime.
Yeah, he looks like a little lime. Yeah.
That's like asking who your favorite child is of a parent.
Maybe not quite so intense.
I'm ready to
I
answer.
like the possessor.
I personally choose Melody because it's the first time in these stories we've got a ghost that has a story to tell. But they're all beloved.
Is something trying to get out?
Many things.
You could be looking at a full-bore army of ghosts with the power to kill by fear itself.
Like literally scared to death?
That's messed up.
And Gil, can you describe what it's been like to direct the People's Voted Sexiest Man in 2021?
You really have to approach that task very differently than working with a mere mortal actor.
I never let him look at me. It's a little bit like you have to direct, like you're looking at an eclipse. Turn around and you have to look at on an index card. You just see my shadow.
It's sort of like the experience of having this interview right now where I'm talking to Paul through a secondary person. Look, it is humbling.
There's heat coming on.
It radiates. It creates a different aura on set. But we're all made the better for the experience. And somehow we all feel better looking after working with Paul.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
The theme tune for the 1984 film Ghostbusters is an iconic piece of movie history. Ray Parker Jr.'s Who You Gonna Call became almost as big as the movies themselves.
When I saw the movie, I thought of the Ghostbusters as military characters. So I kept the music very military, and they had a part of the film where they had the phone number underneath them. And I thought, that's a secret. I'm never gonna say the word Ghostbusters because it's corny. I'm gonna let the audience say that. I'm just gonna say, who you gonna call? And that was the best idea I ever had.
Ray Parker Jr. Was absolutely instrumental in Ghostbusters taking over the world in 1984.
I met him at the premiere. I'd never met him before. I saw Ernie right after the show. I went to the party, and I said, "Hey, Ernie, how you doing? Great job." And he said, "Oh, thank you. Do you know Ray?" And I said, "No, I don't." But I said, "It's an honor to meet you." And his documentary is incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen. And I knew the radio and some of his hits in the 70s. What I had no idea about was that Stevie Wonder saw him when he was a teenager and said, "I want him to be my guitarist." And on Superstition, and in Stevie Wonder's band, a 15-year-old Ray Parker Jr. is his guitarist. That guy is a virtuoso, and it was incredible to learn about his life.
How many times this morning have you been asked to sing the theme tune?
Just the once.
Oh,
yeah.
Would that be a possibility, do you think?
We get asked it quite. We've been asked it quite. Yeah. There's a.
I'm starting. I'm gonna do the bongos.
By the way, there was like,
is that okay?
Also, you were just like,
I won't do it. I refuse.
You were like, and it reminded me of like Coco and Fame, of just crying and covering her chest.
Rupert in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Hey, now go to the bathroom. Thank you.
Is that a no then? You're not going to sing it.
It doesn't get better than that.
And you both have music projects on the side. What about doing something together?
Yeah, we talked about me kind of messing around with something, and
I'd like that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What about singing the Ghostbusters tune for me?
Oh yeah, what was that song? It was like silent ghost, oh little ghost, all is ghost, busting ghosts. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So much. You're welcome.
The death chill. The power to kill by fear itself. Your veins turn to rivers of ice. Your bones crack. And the last thing you see is your own tear ducts freezing up.
Like, literally scared to death?
So cool.